It's time to test out the 7 Artisans 24mm f1.4 apsc lens as an infrared lens. Hey, welcome to another video. I decided to come out to one of my favorite infrared places and bring my Nikon Z50, which is a converted infrared camera, and I thought I'd bring you with me to the local park. A lot of different trees. Might make some good infrared shots, and we'll see what we can come up with. So enjoy me on my very cloudy but rather cool morning. Well, cool for September in Florida, not cool for around the world. It's probably, I don't know, low 80s. So anyway, let's go for a walk, see if we can get some infrared images. This is one of my favorite shots for infrared in this park. There's this little bridge here. If you looked at some of my past infrared videos, you'll see it. But you can usually get a decent infrared shot at this bridge. People talk about coming back to the same place over and over and reshooting. This is one of those times, one of those places that at least with an infrared camera, I tend to come back and shoot over and over. You know, it's interesting. I sold off my 35mm Nikon lens, the 1.8 for the Z system. That's a limpkin over there making all that noise. Anyway, I sold off the lens. I couldn't really decide between that one and the 50mm. 7 Artisans reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to look at this 23mm apsc lens, which I really decided could replace my 35mm. So I sold the 35mm, and then this lens showed up. And I have to admit, so far, I'm kind of liking it as an infrared lens, which should teach you the lesson of you never know how a lens is going to present itself to you. When they first asked me to take a look at it, and again, I appreciate them sending it to me, I never really considered it as a replacement for my 35mm lens for infrared until I tried it. And so far, I haven't put them up on the computer yet. I'm just out here walking around. I think it's going to be a worthy replacement. Because with infrared, I think you want more of a little bit of a cinematic look, maybe even a soft edge to your images. And I think that that's what this 7 Artisans lens does for you. With infrared, I don't know that you want that latest and greatest, sharpest clinical look like I was getting with my Voigtlander Apo lens. Now that Apo lens, I've said on more than one occasion, it's probably the best lens I own for the Z system. But that doesn't mean that there can't be some applications that another lens might be better at. And so far, I think that this 7 Artisans lens, at least for infrared, might be the better lens over that Voigtlander lens. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you really should keep an open mind and not say, well, one lens is $109, the other one's $899. The $899 lens has to be better at something, or has to be better than that $109 lens. Well, overall, it is a better lens, but that doesn't mean that there aren't certain applications that the $109 lens might be better at. And I think that, at least first impressions and going out with it, I think the 7 Artisans lens is a better lens for, I don't want to say wide angle, but sort of wide angle infrared photography. So as far as that goes, at least my early indications are, for me, I'm not necessarily saying for you because you might not shoot infrared, but for me, this lens is worth it. Again, I've said many times, I don't tell people how they should spend their money or how they shouldn't spend their money, and I'm still holding to that. But had they not sent me this lens, it never would have occurred to me to buy this lens for infrared. Now that it's in my hands, if I were to lose it or if they asked me to send it back, I don't think they're going to, but if they did, of course, don't tell them that I'd probably go out and buy another one if they maybe send this back. But yeah, I probably would. I would probably buy this lens, at least early indications. I would probably buy this lens for my infrared work. I think that highly of it for that application. If I was shooting portraits, I'd choose the Voigtlander. So again, it depends on what you're using the lens for. And sometimes I think people don't take the time to find the strengths and weaknesses of their gear, of their lenses. You know, what can they do? What do they not do? What are they good at? And I think with pretty much any lens, you can find something that they're good at because they were designed to do something and maybe they do it well. I haven't really used this too much in low light situations, and being it's an f1.4 lens, I would think that it's designed somewhat for that, but I haven't used it for that so far. It might be a good video lens. I don't really use my lenses for videos necessarily, except to film a couple of my videos. It may be something I get into more in the future. So another strength of this lens might be video. I just don't know. There's a wood stork. He's kind of an ugly bird. There's quite a few of them down here now. I hadn't seen them probably 20 years ago. I don't think I ever saw wood storks down here, even though they were in the area or in this part of the state, but I just never saw them. Now I see them all over the place. If you go down to Watakahatchee Park down in Boynton Delray area, there's tons of nests for wood storks down there. Yeah, might be time to go home. I was walking along this path here and I kept stopping and looking behind me and looking around. Old guy on a bike comes up and wanted to know if I lost my dog, what my dog looked like. And I said, no, I didn't lose a dog, but thanks for asking. And he said, you must have lost your dog. You look like you've lost your dog. And I said, no, I'm just out taking photos. Okay, well, if I see your dog, I'll let you know. Thank you. So, helpful people, they're very nice, but sometimes they don't listen to what you're trying to tell them. No, I didn't lose my dog. I don't own a dog. I have 2 neighbor dogs that come over and I feed them biscuits almost every day. And then my daughter's dogs come by to visit. Even my son's dog's on his way over in a couple of days to stay for a few days. But so I have dogs. I don't take them to this park. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the walk around the block. It's pretty quiet now. There's guys out here mowing the lawn, so might be time to get home. I appreciate you checking in. Thanks for watching. And if I put up a bunch of photos and post this video, then you'll know that I think this 7 Artisans is a good lens for infrared. or at least that's what I'm going to use it for. I might use it for some other applications in the future, but for now, I think it's a good go-to infrared lens. All right, take care. I'll see you next time.